Ministry 2. A short time later there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem to attend. Now in Jerusalem there is this pool over by the sheep gate, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda. It has 5 colonnades surrounding it, and all manner of the ailing, the blind, the lame, and the paralyzed were lying in wait for the rousing of the water. Every once in a while you see an angel would come down to the pool and stir the water up. The first one in after this upset would be cured of whatever malady had afflicted them. A man who had been disabled for 38 years was in that place. Jesus saw him lying there, and knowing that he had been there a long time, asked him, "Would you like to be made whole?" "Lord," the lame man answered him, "I've got no one to help me in at the stirring thereof, for even as I am inching toward it, someone always beats me there." "Get up," said Jesus, "pick up your bed and walk." Right away the man was healed, and he picked up his bed and walked away. Now it was the Sabbath day, so the Jews said to the restored man, "Today is the Sabbath. The law prohibits you from carrying that bed." But the man replied, "The very one who healed me also said to me, 'Pick up your bed and walk.'" "Who is this man who told you to pick up your bed and walk?" they demanded. The one who had been healed had no idea who it was that had healed him, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd. A short while later, Jesus met him at the temple and said, "Behold, you are restored to your former state. See to it that you stop sinning, or something far worse might befall you." The man left that place and informed the Jews that it was Jesus who had healed him. The Jews therefore were seeking to deliver Jesus up to death, for he had dared to perform these acts on the Sabbath. "My Father ministers up to now," Jesus explained, "and now I minister just like him." Then the Jews were even more determined to put him to death, for not only was he violating the Sabbath, but was also calling God his Father, making himself out to be equal to God. Jesus therefore answered them, "I say to you in all truth, the Son is unable to act on his own. He is only able to do as he sees his Father doing. For the Son sees what the Father does, and he does things just like him. For the Father loves the Son, and fills him in on all he does. And he will, moreover, make things known that are even more astounding than this, that all of you might be amazed. For in the same way that the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so also does the Son give life to whomever he will. Moreover, the Father judges no one, but has relegated the judgment of all things to the Son. This is so that everyone might respect the Son every bit as much as they respect the Father. Whoever dishonors the Son also brings dishonor upon the Father who sent him. I say to you most assuredly, anyone who hears my word and believes in him who sent me here has transcendent life and will not be judged, but has passed right through death and into life. Assuredly, I say to you, the time is approaching, and truly is upon us, when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and in hearing they will come alive. Because in the same way that the Father has life within himself, so also he decreed that the Son should have life within himself, and he has given him complete authority, for he is the Son of Man. Do not be surprised at this, because the time is coming when all who are in the grave will hear his voice and resurrect. Those who have acted righteously will arise to be enlivened, and those who have acted wickedly will arise only to be sentenced. I cannot do whatever I please. I judge according to the way I hear, and as such my judgment is fair, seeing that I do not act by my own whims, but only as the one who sent me wishes me to. And if I should speak of myself alone, then my testimony will not stand. There is another who will testify on my behalf, and I am quite sure that his testimony regarding me is true. You sent envoys out to John, and he has testified to the truth. Not that I accept the testimony of men, but this I say for your salvation. John was a lamp that was burning bright, and for a time you were eager to bask in his light. But I am backed up by a testimony that is greater than John's. What I am working on now, you see, is the very task that was given to me by the Father, and it does of itself confirm that the Father has sent me. Moreover, the Father who sent me has already borne me out. Never have you heard his voice, nor ever have you seen his form, and neither is his word alive in you. That much is certain, seeing that you do not trust in the one whom he has sent." Jesus said to the scribes, "God will judge all who behave unfairly, so look to yourselves and not me. You imagine that you judge the same way that he does. How does he?" And turning to the leaders of the people, he said, "Pore over the writings then. You study the scriptures meticulously, supposing that through them you will have eternal life. Yet you reject me out of hand, in spite of the fact that these very scriptures point to me, that you might draw near to me, and thereby receive endless life. I do not accept the praises of men. Indeed, I know how it is with you. You do not have God's love in your hearts. For even though I come bearing the very stamp of my Father, you do not believe in me. If, however, someone else should come along acting in line with his own will, you will all be sure to embrace him. If you accept commendation from each other, while not attempting in the least to receive the glorification that comes from God alone, how ever will you come to believe? Now do not imagine that I will be the one to arraign you before my Father. Moses, upon whom you've pinned your every hope, stands as your accuser." "We know that God spoke to Moses," they said, "but as for you, we have no idea where you came from." "You are now charged with not accepting those whom Moses endorsed," Jesus answered. "Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for I am the one about whom he wrote to your forefathers, saying, 'The Lord our God will raise up a prophet for you from among your brothers, who will be to you even as I am. Hear him, therefore, in all things. And whosoever will not hear that prophet will die. How will you ever believe what I say to you if you do not accept the things that he wrote?'" His followers said to him, 24 prophets have spoken in Israel, and all of them were pointing to you." Then Jesus said, "You are speaking of the dead and overlooking the living one who is in your midst. I, the one who speaks in the prophets, am here with you, speaking to you." Some people in the crowd started to gather stones together in order to pummel him. The leaders then took hold of him and tried to arrest him and deliver him over to the people. But because the time for him to be handed up had not yet come, they failed to apprehend him. The Lord, therefore, of his own, eluded their grasp and got away from them.